Welcome to the video lecture for section 4.2. In this chapter, we'll learn about stem-changing verbs. So the general idea of stem-changing verbs is that they have the same regular verb endings as AR, ER, and IR verbs, but there's a spelling change within the first part of the word. So you can see here the ending OO here is just a regular ending for AR verbs or ER verbs, but there's a change in the first part of it. In this case, E to IE, or in this one, O to UE. So generally you can see here for E to IE verbs, this is the general pattern. You can see, like I said, they all have the same endings. In this case for empezar, an AR verb, but ER stem changing verbs will also all have the same ending. But what's different is that the second E here, empezar, changes from simply an E to an IE. And the one thing to note that it changes in every form, yo, tú, usted, él, ella, ustedes, ellos, ellas, except for nosotros. The nosotros, it remains simply an E. In this case, O to UE, like I said, they maintain the same regular verb endings. In this case, volver, so it has regular ER verb endings. But what changes is that the second O, in this case the only O, changes from an O to a UE in all the subjects except for nosotros. So instead of volvo, like the car, it's simply vuelvo, or tú vuelves, usted, ella vuelve, and so forth. So here's a list of some common stem-changing verbs. The easiest way to go about this is just to begin using them more. We'll be practicing these in class. But always remember that they all undergo a stem change except for the nosotros form. It's also important to know that it's always the second E or the second O that undergoes a stem change. So for example, in the word empezar, the second E is this one right here. So that's the one that undergoes the stem change. For example, in entender, the second E over here undergoes a stem change. Or for example, preferir, it's not the first E, but the second E. Likewise, for O, it's always the second O if there are more than one O's in the word. One thing to note that a couple of these have a plus something here. The only important ones are the comenzar and empezar, to begin to do something. That to is the preposition a, or empezar a, to start to do something. That to is the a. One other common verb, especially related to this chapter of pastimes, is jugar. In this case, the U in jugar changes to a UE in all cases except for nosotros. So yo juego, tú juegas, él juega, nosotros jugamos, and ellos, ellas, ustedes juegan. And generally it's followed by an a, so jugar al fútbol, a el fútbol, jugar al voleibol, jugar al golf. One thing to note is that if you play an instrument, it's tocar un instrumento, to touch literally an instrument. You don't say jugar el piano or jugar una guitarra. You say toco la guitarra or toco el piano. One last unique verb here is pensar. De pensar, pienso correr, I plan on running, or pienso caminar, I plan on walking. But pensar en, to think about, it means. So pienso en el fútbol, I think about football. Pienso en las vacaciones, I think about vacations. So be aware of those two differences in meaning with the preposition. Finally, for the homework, pretty straightforward. All you have to do is identify the subject and then change the verb depending on who it's conjugated to. In all these cases, they're all stem-changing verbs. So for the first one, poder ir a la excursión con ustedes. Alejandro saying it, so the subject is yo, so it would be puedo. The O changes to a UE to puedo. And like I said, it's just a regular yo ending for an ER verb. The only thing that changes is O to UE, puedo. Number two, no, I'm guessing he's talking to Alejandro, so it would be no puedes venir. Once again, a stem changing verb. Nosotros Pensamos salir a las 12. Since it's nosotros, there's no stem changing. Next one, yo querer ir. Well, remember, it's always the second E, but in this case, the ER at the end is part of the ending that gets removed and changed. So it would be this E, which in fact is the only E in the stem. So yo quiero ir. Quiero, yo quiero ir. And this one, poder ustedes volver, pueden ustedes.